She Blosses out there. It is She Bloss Asia C, and I am here with the She Bloss Nicole herself, and we are going to ask all the questions that you want to know. Our first question is, where did the idea of Bloss, Boss, and Bless come from?
Well, the idea actually came from, well, first of all, I want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
She BLOSS Asia for this. Well, actually, BLOSS, the idea actually came from seeing abuse of authority. Not just seeing it, but actually experiencing it over myself. And it really did something to me when it came to me viewing authority.
Okay, so with you experiencing and seeing the abuse of authority, what do you plan on accomplishing with BLOSS?
Well, what I want to do with BLOSS is I want to bring back the original intent for authority. I want to bring that awareness. A lot of people don't understand what authority is and why it was given to us.
Right.
And the second thing I want to do with authority, I want to bring back the safety to submit to authority. And so these are the things that I want to do to help to eradicate or to lessen or to get rid of abuse of authority or putting power in the wrong hands.
What is BLOSS?
BLOSS actually is something, I looked it up, I didn't know what it was, but it's actually called a pimento.
Right, okay.
A pimento is when you take two words and you blend them to make one word. And when you take it to make one word, you also give it a new meaning. So what I did was I took the BL of bless and I took the OSS of boss and I just put it together and made it BLOSS. You know, one thing I want people to know is that when you look at BLOSS, understand we're still saying boss.
Right.
The only thing that we're doing is we're adding the bless to it.
That's good.
That came from the beginning, because before he gave us dominion, and this is actually where I'm getting boss from, because a lot of us, we say we want to be the boss, but honestly we're already the boss.
Right.
And so when I think about the word boss, when I was reading the scripture, it says, and he gave them dominion. But when I seen dominion, it translated, and he made them the boss.
Right.
But before he did that, he blessed them. So a lot of us are running after the dominion or the dominating, but we are not doing it from the blessing.
Right.
And before he gave us that authority or made us bosses, he blessed us. And that what that means is he gave us a source from which to dominate.
That's good.
Or a source from which to boss.
That's good.
Actually started from me struggling with authority and not being in authority, but struggling under authority. And I know that can sound rebellious, but it really wasn't that way.
Right.
It was me submitting myself under authority, but authority not knowing how to really cultivate me in authority. I wanted to be in authority because I felt like God created me to be a leader and to lead, and I wanted to do my best at it. So BLOSS actually came from a time where I was kind of done with all authority. I was done with church. I was done with all of it. And I never forget just reading, and as I read the Bible, I came across the scriptures in Genesis where it talks about, and he gave us dominion. Well, during that time, dominion was translated boss.
Right.
So what he said to me was, and I gave you to be a boss. That's how I heard it.
Right.
And I told you, I told you to be a boss. And when we were reading it, it actually came not just with me, you know, it's just like, it was my revelation because I was the one that was reading it and needing the answer and needing that from God at the time. But it actually, as I reread it, I see where it says, and he gave them dominion. So it wasn't just me, it was all mankind. So what he was saying was, and I made all of them the boss.
Right.
And I said, well, okay, I get that. And so when you hear me saying BLOSS, you have to hear dominion. The story was, I empowered you to dominate. I empowered you to be a boss.
Yeah, that's good.
I made you a boss.
That's good.
And it's just point blank and period. Point blank period. And so when he showed me that, he was basically telling me I had no right to throw away authority because he gave it to me. But now I have to put it in this right perspective,
Right.
and I have to do with what he designed for it, and I had to do with authority what he designed for authority to do. A lot of people, they want a boss, but they don't want to boss from the blessing.
That's good.
And the reason why is because if you can be a boss without the blessing, then you don't have no accountability.
Right.
But when you become BLOSS, you have accountability.
Right. So I noticed you said earlier that, well, just now, that you consider yourself a coach. And I know most of us in the world, we hear coach a lot.
Right.
So what kind of coach do you consider yourself?
Oh my goodness. So I'm telling you, this was Holy Spirit given.
Right.
And I asked God, I said, well, what kind of coach am I? Because that's not something I really desire to
Okay.
be. But I can see it in this field.
Yes.
So what I am a you coach and a you influencer. And so what I do is I coach you to be the real you. And the real you operating from the highest part of you, which is your spirit man.
I like that. You coach, that's a different term. So as you being a you coach, can you expound a little bit more on the you coach and the you influencer?
And so what I'm doing is I am taking these principles that I am learning about being a boss or being in dominion or having this dominance, and I want to influence others to be able to take, especially the household of God, especially the household of God. You know, everybody may not take this. Everybody may not take this thought pattern. But the household of God should definitely take this thought pattern. It's just like what I was telling you before. BLOSS is always going to be accountable.
Right.
And so the ideal is to take these principles and then apply it in your life and influence others to also use it for their life.
Right.
And so the household of God should always understand that we are always to stay under, to submit, that everything that we do, it's not just ours. It has been given to us to use, but we got to remember to keep him the head. Remember to keep him as the one who owns it and we steward it.
So I know that some of us as the audience member, as us watching She BLOSS Nicole over the years, that in all of your events and your posts, we see women.
Right.
So now I know we're kind of questioning, like, is it only targeted for women or is it for...
Like, can he be a he BLOSS?
Yes, can he be a he BLOSS?
Absolutely, he can be a he BLOSS. And you know, I get that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, the ideal and the message of BLOSS is universal.
Yes.
So the message is for everyone. It is for mankind, period.
Yes.
My heart is for women. I believe that God has directed me to the women.
Right.
But can a man take the message of BLOSS and direct it to the men or make it to everyone? Absolutely.
Yes.
Because it is universal. The message is absolutely universal. So, but when I talk to the She BLOSSes, it's only because my heart is for the women.
Okay, so would you ever, kind of invite the men in one day to one of your events?
Yeah, I live with a he BLOSS.
Right. So you have a he BLOSS and the She BLOSS in the house.
Yes, and I'm trying to teach my boys and teach other men to become he BLOSSes, So yes, it's really the message of it and taking the principles of it to continue to manage their life and to be the bosses they're supposed to be.
And I get that. I like that, and I'm sure everyone watching, I'm kind of expressing the same heart as you, that we are liking that.
Yes.
And we noticed that recently you have done a photo shoot.
Okay.
And in your photo shoot, you have these gift bags in your hand. So this brings us to our next question.
Yes.
What is the boss gift?
The boss gift.
Yes.
Yes, that's funny that you bring that up. So you see them gift bags?
Yes, and I love that photo shoot, by the way. It's very nice.
Okay, I love that. Well, okay, so here we are. So you have the BLOSS, you have BLOSS, which is the BL of bless and the OSS of boss.
Right.
Put it together, we have BLOSS.
Right.
And the word actually means empowered to dominate.
Right.
Well, how is he going to empower us?
Mm-hmm.
How is he going? What tools is he going to use to empower us? How is he going to get this empowerment activated in our lives?
Yes.
Well, I call that the boss gift. Once again, we're talking about dominion.
Mm-hmm.
So the boss gift, but here's the reason why it's called the boss gift. So the boss gift is still dealing with dominion.
Yes.
So when you think about bossing, you're thinking about directing, contending, managing, and mastering. But here's the key. These gifts has been given to us. God gave us the gift to manage, the gift to master, the gift to direct, okay, and the gift to manage. He gave us these gifts. Now, here is the blessed part about it. It's a gift. That means we all have it, and he gave it to us to bless our life. It's free.
Yeah.
It's a free gift. You don't have to worry about anyone taking it from you. You don't have to ask permission to use it. You don't have to wait for someone to put you in position to use it. These gifts that he gave us, it was to bless us. It was to empower us. It was to allow us to take these tools and begin to reign in life.
And hearing that response, it just empowers me so much.
Yeah.
And I know it's empowering all the women that are following you, all the women that are watching. And sometimes I know naturally we kind of get in this place where we get gifts and we feel like we're undeserving of gifts.
That's good.
So now the question is, does everybody get this boss gift?
Everyone has this boss gift. And you know what? We use it so regularly that we don't give attention to it like I think that we should.
Yes.
Or the revelation that God gave me. He wants us to bring attention to this.
Right.
Everyone has the boss gift.
Right.
Whether they're pagan, whether they don't believe in God, it does not matter. It's our nature. It's in our makeup. It's what he breathed into us. It's the thing that he gave us when he said, and bless them and let them have dominion over. So these are some things that we don't get to say in this. It's ours.
So can you give us some examples of our everyday or all the time boss gifts, like using that boss
Like
gift?
when do we use these boss
Yes,
gifts?
like when do we use the boss gift?
We use the boss gift every day. You cannot do anything without using the boss gift.
Right.
When you get up in the morning, you're using the boss gift. When you're preparing dinner for your children, you use the boss gift.
Yeah.
When you're thinking about what clothes you're going to wear the next day, you use the boss gift. We manage our lives. You hear that word manage?
Yeah.
See, that's part of the boss gift.
Yes.
We have mastery areas. That's why we have careers.
Right.
That's why we go and do different things, because these are master skill areas. You hear that? That's that boss gift.
Yes.
We contend. Contend means fight, or we hold in place, or we hold in step. We have areas where we won't move. We make sure that we hold our course in.
Yeah.
That's contending, you know. And then when it comes to the manager, did I say manager?
Yes, you said manager.
I said manager. So manager, master, contend.
Yes.
And I think the other one was directing.
Yes.
And so when it comes to directing has to do with you putting management into order.
Yeah.
Or you're giving directives. You're telling people what to do. This goes here. You're prioritizing. You know, you're setting things in order on how you're going to do it. We use this every day. I don't care if you get up in the morning and you say, when I get up in the morning and, you know, the first thing I do is brush my teeth. Well, that's management. It's pretending. I'm quite sure you've mastered to brush your teeth. You probably ain't brushing your teeth anymore. You know, those different things. These are all mastery. I mean, you say, oh my God, I stink. You hold to that. I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to take a shower. So we use this boss gift every day. Here's the problem. Here's the issue. I believe this is why God gave me this, because that we can really minimize what I just said and say, that's just anything. So what makes BLOSS special? One thing that makes BLOSS, or this BLOSS gift, special is the fact that He gave the revelation that I want this magnified. I want some attention on this.
Yeah.
And when I began to ask God, well, what attention do you want on this? He said, I want people to take this gift to govern themselves.
Yeah.
That's the ideal. We govern our days. We govern our affairs in our life. You have people that are good over their money. They're good in relationships. They're good in romance. They're good in their jobs. They're good in cooking.
Yeah.
They're good in all these things, and then they commit suicide.
Yeah.
Or they're beating their wives, or the wives are staying and being beat.
Yeah.
Or they have control over certain areas, but they don't have control over the one area.
Yeah.
And so what you see them doing is, because they don't govern themselves well, now they're reaching out of range and trying to govern other stuff and even other people.
Right.
So this is why you're seeing abuse and authority. This is why you're seeing abuse in the parenting, the police, the teachers, anyone that have a sense of power that is using their power to be over someone to feed their ego. And it's because somewhere they haven't worked how to use this BLOSS gift to govern themselves. That will take them into celebrating themselves.
Right.
Where I don't have to be over you like a Pharaoh was over the slaves, or I don't have to, beat you down or look down on you because of my own insecurities of myself. When I can take this BLOSS gift and manage my emotions, manage my thinking, manage my will, and get myself together. And God begins to show me who I am and how I am the beloved in Him. And I begin to manage my identity in a way that He identifies me. And I begin to take all of that and develop who I am in Him. Then I don't have to put you down. Because the BLOSS gift is working in me. And guess what the BLOSS gift gonna do when it works in me? It's gonna make you also become a boss.
That is so good. And I just want to let you know, all the information that you have given is so informative to us. And we just want to say thank you. It's great. So with the word BLOSS, when we see that word BLOSS, what do you want us to see?
So when you see the word BLOSS, it's important that you understand that it is still BOSS. We're just adding the BL, which is the blessing, to it. So when you see BLOSS, I want you to see a word that is making a statement. I want you to see a word that gives permission and affirmation to dominate, to be a boss, to be the boss. Finally, when you see BLOSS, the word BLOSS was created to keep us conscious of the fact that we have authority, where authority comes from, and why we have it. So when you look at BLOSS, BLOSS is going to make you look at the blessing. That means bossing with the blessing.
Now, can anyone, all of us be a She BLOSS?
Okay, so here's the thing. Anybody can be a She BLOSS. Just like anybody can be a Christian. Anybody can be what they want to be. And that's absolutely yes. But here's the key. When it comes to She BLOSS, she is intentional. She's not perfect, but she's intentional. Meaning, she drives herself from a certain source. And that's what the message I'm really trying to put out. That she drives herself from the government of God. She also makes sure that she keeps in order. That first of all, She blesses God with her government or
Right.
with her bossing. Then she blesses herself with her authority or her bossing or her boss gift, right?
Right.
Then she blesses others.
Yeah.
So she's intentional. She makes sure that in everything that I'm doing, I'm making sure I am coming from the source of God. And I'm making sure that I'm taking this boss gift and I am first governing myself. And then as I govern myself to make sure my gift bless him,
Right.
I'll govern myself to make sure my gift, this boss gift bless me. And then I'll govern myself to make sure that this boss gift also bless others.
So I just want to thank you, She BLOSS Nicole, for coming in with us today. I mean, everything you gave was so informative. But in this closing question, we opened ourselves up saying that I'm She BLOSS Asia C, you're She BLOSS Nicole.
Yes.
What is She BLOSS?
Well, She BLOSS is simply she dominates.
I like that.
And the thing about this she blossoming is that she intentionally dominates from the blessing.
That's good.
Yes.
That's very good. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. First, let's thank She BLOSS Nicole for being here and giving us all the answers to all our questions that we have been asking and wondering over time. Can't wait to see you guys next time on another video.